Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today in gaming, Dead Space might be making a comeback. Battlefield 4's popularity hit an all-time peak, Sony is selling Cyberpunk 2077 again, and much more. And before we get into our gaming stories, just a heads up that Amazon Prime Day is live. If you're looking to snag some deals, use our affiliate links below. It both helps us out and takes you to the gaming peripherals that I choose to use, like the Razer DeathAdder version 2 wireless mouse and Acer Nitro 1440p 144Hz IPS monitor. They're both an insane value with today's Prime Day discount. And even clicking on the links in the video description and shopping around for Prime Day deals also helps us out. Thanks for your support. Alright, now Battlefield 2042 might not be the only game getting a big announcement during EA Play Live on July 22nd. GamesBeat writer Jeff Grubb says EA will be dusting off an established IP for the event. EA Motive is allegedly working on the game and that it'll be a very big deal for fans. Grubb hinted that it might be a new Dead Space game. EA famously canned Dead Space developer Visceral Games after Dead Space 3's launch, and while that game itself was pretty solid, it didn't meet sales expectations. Many fans were disappointed that the game strayed from the franchise's single-player roots in favor of a co-op experience. Dead Space 3's actual ending was cut up into paid DLC, and weapon upgrades were offered as paid microtransactions, further fueling its controversial launch. Hopefully, EA are taking the franchise back to its roots if they're even making a new Dead Space game at all. Last week, DICE added more servers for Battlefield 4 to increase capacity. The game has seen a resurgence thanks to the hype surrounding Battlefield 2042's reveal. So far, the player base for Battlefield 4 on Steam increased 8 times its current player count based on the same time last month. Of course, that's only Steam data. Battlefield 4 has probably seen an even bigger spike in activity on Origin and consoles. As far as Steam is concerned, though, the game has never been more popular. Battlefield 4 was added on Steam in June last year. Its previous peak concurrent player count was 5,800 players back in September 2020. And while the current influx of players is starting to cool off, it's still pretty wild that a Battlefield game from 2013 is still this popular. Just a few weeks ago, finding a server for Battlefield 4 running a normal configuration was a chore. Now you have all sorts of game modes and map rotations to choose from. It's a great time to be a fan for sure. A new teaser trailer for PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds' next map, Tago, hints at several new things coming with it. The biggest addition might be a self-revive item. A downed player in the teaser can be seen using some sort of item, which is usually impossible. This could be a hint at how the respawn system will work on Tago. It could also be a new item available on other maps. Either way, it seems like a lot is changing for PUBG with its next update. Tago will also add 2 new 5.56 rifles, the K2 assault rifle and the Mark 12 DMR. The map launches on July 7th for the PC and the 15th for console players. Cyberpunk 2077 is finally available for sale on the PlayStation Network. The listing includes a warning saying users continue to experience performance issues with the game. Purchase for the PlayStation 4 systems is not recommended. For the best Cyberpunk experience on PlayStation, play on PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation 5 systems. Now, the game runs fairly well on next-gen console hardware, but it's severely limited by last-gen systems. If you're not using an SSD in your PlayStation 4 or Xbox One, you're probably going to have a very rough time while loading assets and game data. And that's not even getting into the general frame rate. On last-gen hardware, Cyberpunk struggles to run at 30 FPS in most scenes. That said, it's still a great improvement over what it actually was at launch. Death Stranding's Director's Cut has been rated as a PlayStation 5 exclusive title in America. The ESRB gave this version of the game an identical rating to the original release, but only rated it for PlayStation 5. It's unclear what the Director's Cut will even offer. It seems mainly like a next-gen upgrade of some sort. In our final bit of PlayStation news, Sony have finally relented and will open up crossplay support to more games. They've historically been very hostile to crossplay, going so far as to charge developers extra just to enable the feature. But PlayStation boss Jim Ryan was recently quoted saying, "We support and encourage crossplay, and that the number of crossplay titles on their platform will continue to grow." Sony's stance on crossplay came front and center thanks to the Epic vs. Apple lawsuit, where their internal practices regarding regarding the feature was exposed. Around the time of the trial, Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford claimed Sony were blocking crossplay on PlayStation because of certain issues. Epic themselves said they had to pay Sony to enable crossplay in Fortnite. Ryan's quote sounds promising, as it's really the first time Sony has committed to expanding crossplay support publicly. We finally have good news for gamers looking to buy new GPUs. According to the Video Cards website, pricing is finally trending down and availability is climbing. May was by far the worst month for GPU sales. The average price for both AMD and Nvidia GPUs peaked way above MSRP last month. Since then, prices have been declining. The decline has been more dramatic for Nvidia, but their pricing was also way more obscene. Availability in general also seems to be improving slightly. It's likely that these price reductions and improved availability are in part due to China banning crypto mining. The Halo Master Chief Collection is getting new mod tools with the Season 7 update on Wednesday. It's unclear what the new tools will offer, but the last season shipped with its own bundle of tools that have enabled some pretty interesting custom modes. Season 7 includes a ton of new official content like a new map, armor customizations, and more. Valheim's mod scene also got a pretty big update recently. The game's community-developed VR mod launched back in April, and it just got an update that adds motion control support. Before this update, you were stuck using a keyboard or controller to play while in VR. Now you can use your Oculus Touch or Index controllers to interact with the world. Aside from better support for the Vive controllers, the last major hurdle for the mod to overcome is room scale locomotion. Right now, you're stuck using your VR controller's analog stick to move around, as the mod doesn't track your position. In a future update, the developers hope to let players walk around like they would in a normal VR title. Before we get to our final story today, just a reminder to check out our Amazon Prime Day affiliate links in the description and pinned comment. Using them to make any Prime Day purchase helps us out a ton. I've linked some deals for the gaming gear that I use, but just hitting the link and shopping around helps us out as well. Might and Magic 10 Legacy players are reporting issues playing the whole game after Ubisoft shut down its servers on June 1st. They say the game's DLC is inaccessible because it has to check if you're authorized to play it online. With those servers shut down, the authentication can't happen. They also say that progressing beyond Act 1 of the base game is impossible with the DLC installed. Players have found a way to brute force the game into working correctly, but that involves editing the game files, which could get your Ubisoft account in trouble. Hopefully, Ubisoft has a fix in the works. 10 Legacy was a massive deal for the franchise. Not only was it the first game in the series after 10 years, it was also quite good. And that wraps it up for today in gaming. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.